On everybody, welcome to another episode of the Cash Physical Therapy Headquarters Podcast. You're gonna have to bear with me. I just got back from the dentist and can't feel half my face. So if it looks like I had a stroke at some point, you know why. So what we're gonna be talking about today is the number one growth hack to any cash physical therapy practice that has been doing the workshops, running the ads, doing the hard work, doing everything they can in between patient sessions, going home and still working on the business and feeling like they just can't get away from it all. And you've been at it for a couple of months. This is something that I know for a fact has changed me and Ben's lives. We're talking about in-person coaching. Ben, when was the first event that you ever went to?
I think it was the one with you actually, with our first business coach on that in Scottsdale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Clients and community?
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, those completely changed my life. And just for context for all of you is before I had never worked with a coach. I wore the fact that I could figure anything out like a badge of honor. Like there's nothing that I couldn't learn. I was on my own time horizon. It's like I see things growing, like things are going great. But the reality was that I was completely lying to myself. And we're all really good at telling ourselves that things are better than they actually are, so we can get up out of bed in the morning and actually keep doing the work. But eventually things got so bad for me where our other partner, Max, and I were living off of less than $1,000 a month each, which meant that we barely paid for rent. We could barely afford groceries a lot of the time. Our cards would get denied at Taco Bell on dates, and it was shitty. But then we got introduced to our first coach, and because things were so rough, we finally decided like we have to get some level of help. And so we did what it took to be able to hire that help, and we went to our first ever live event. And that completely shifted what I believed was possible for myself. Like we're doing like $20,000 a month inside of our business, and coming from nothing, that was like a big freaking deal. But then we're in a room where everyone's doing $100, $200, $300,000 a month. And you realize how small you've been thinking and how much harder your life has been because you've been thinking so small, because you're asking worse questions, doing the wrong stuff. And so live events literally transformed my life. And within 90 days of that event, we hit $50,000 a month within our practice. Within 6 months of that, we hit $100,000 a month. But it all came from that belief of just being around people that force us to realize that we've been playing really, really small.
Yeah, I'm in a group right now, and it's like this wasn't at a live event, but this was in the Slack channel.
Yeah,
just the power of being around other people. Like people were posting their wins, like, yeah, had a $4 million month. It's just like, it just and there was like just stacking more wins, like had generated $1 million of profit this month.
Mm-hmm.
Hired on my 100th employee. It's just a completely different game. Even for myself in there, it's just like it just challenges your belief on what's possible, and helps you realize how small you're playing as well. So
right, and it's not even just like about the numbers. Like the numbers are a benchmark, but the crazy thing about it is when you're around people who are doing numbers like that, who are way ahead of you, and you're talking to them and you're next to them and you're hanging out with them and you're talking about your businesses together, you realize that they're no different than you. They're maybe a few steps ahead, but they're not smarter. They're not more, necessarily like they don't have this unique personality type that makes them unique or special. They're more or less just like us. And then you realize like what you're truly capable of if you normalize like what it is that they're doing and stop asking like, oh, like I wish this was easier. And instead start to wish like, oh, I wish I was better. What does this person know? Or how do they think that I'm not currently doing that would allow me to get to where they're trying to go? And so it just makes it impossible to hide from the reality of what we're truly capable of. And once you face that reality, well, now you're in a position where you can start to really change your reality. And that's why after our events, most people have a record month coming home from Clinical Marketer. And within 12 months on average from attending one of our live events, our clients average adding an additional $20,000 a month to their practice after attending. That's the power of, it's not just like the tactics and the strategies. Those are obviously like helpful, but the real fire that causes them to just like skyrocket comes from like the belief, the energy, that others are doing it and therefore I can too. And so it lights a fire under your ass.
Yeah, it's hard not to. Like, I ran numbers last night, with regards to looked at the signups that we have and clients that are attending, and then the coaches that are attending. And there's going to be over $50 million worth of cash package sales that have already occurred across everybody's practices in that room. Like, it's hard to like state that, hey, if I go, I'm not going to learn anything that's applicable, or if you're in that room, your practice is going to change forever. It's just, even if you don't try, it's just going to happen by being around those types of people and that group of individuals. It's
100%. And just for, so everyone like knows, like shamelessly, like we have an event June 11th through the 13th in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's a 3-day, full day in-person event where we're teaching all the things that we have learned and discovered as Ben scaled his practice to now doing, $1 million a year in profit. And Max and myself and all of our other coaches have learned in building scaling systems, not just within paid advertising, but organic marketing, organic content, in-person and local networking and workshops, like everything that we've learned from the hundreds of clinics that we've been working with and millions of dollars in ad spend. We're teaching, here's what works in 2026. Here's how we're scaling our marketing. Here's how we're scaling our teams. And here's how we're streamlining our entire practice using AI. This is the year of AI. And so we already have close to, I think we're approaching 90 signups for our live event in Scottsdale. And so this is a high impact, high level group where we're not just hyping you up, but this isn't like motivation. The motivation comes from the small private conversations you have over a beer or over a cocktail or over a meal. That's where the motivation comes from. What we're teaching is purely, here's what to do, here's how to think, and here's how to strategize over the next year. Then we actually get shit done together. And so that's what we're doing and what we've been doing. Ben, do you have any like favorite moments from our past live events? Like what are the events like?
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. That's the thing too, is like, I think that's something that's a little bit different with our events, is like, most events you show up, you get thrown a bunch of information, you leave overwhelmed. We've really perfected our events over the years, and now it's where you come in, it's fun, it's a lot of interactive, and get things done. It's not like, it's not like we're going to give you this information now, go home for the next 6 months and try and implement it. You're implementing there on the spot. On top of that, we have like another event after the event, like for dinner and cocktails and stuff like that. Whether you drink or not, it doesn't matter. There's food. It's just a good time. Everybody's there to have a good time and just disconnect a little bit too. And we will all work really hard. And so it's nice to just be around a group of people that just get it. Like, if you're on your own right now and don't have any sense of community on it, it's really hard. Entrepreneurship can be really lonely. And so I get fired up every time I go to the bench, just being around, 50, 100 plus people that are just like myself, trying to build the exact same stuff. Like, you can't get that anywhere else. Yeah. And so I really try and be fully present over those 72 hours of the event, because it's a time that I can't get anywhere else outside of that. So I'm like, I'm going to enjoy it as much as I possibly can, because this doesn't happen very often. So.
Yep. And I was just at an event, as you know, in Florida with our coach. And you really don't realize how bad you need it until you're around other people who talk the same language, have the same problems, have tried all the same things, and have really like been through the crucible that you have gone through, that no one else in their lives really understand. And you don't realize how bad you needed to be around people that actually deeply understand your situation. Where I was talking to one of the guys, and we're talking about how like some days you just got to go through it. Some days are like just hard, and that's part of the process of the becoming of someone who's great and worthy of like long success, and that's just inevitable. But the people in our lives that don't get it, the best that they can do, the best thing that they can tell us is just pat us on the back and say, you're going to figure it out. You got this. And in the moment, like, it's nice, but at the same time, it's like, it's the same thing as saying, like, just figure it the fuck out. It's like, we know. But when you're around people who truly get it, it feels so good. And you that's one of the most important things about going to these events. It just refills your cup, realizing it's like, oh, I'm not alone. I am good enough. It's not that, I suck at these things. It's just that I haven't developed this way of thinking quite yet. And there's nothing that's going to change your beliefs and your way of thinking and find faster solutions to the problems you have than proximity to the people who have already done it, who have been in your shoes, that understand the sacrifices you're going to have to make in order to get where you're trying to go, but who can reaffirm that you're doing the right things. They've done it and have felt what you're experiencing.
Yeah. At the event, there's going to be at least 20 people in the exact same spot that you're at.
At least.
At least. And there's going to be also a lot of people that are ahead of you.
Yeah.
That can help you. Something that is a little bit underrated, I think, about the events too. Sometimes it can be like, I don't know anything. Like, I'm really struggling. I just don't feel like this is, if I have it. And then you go to these events and you're also going to be ahead of a lot of people too.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to help other people. And it helps you realize just how much you actually know. And it allows you to help you realize how much you've grown. And when you can realize that and reflect on it because of that event, you have more energy to go forward too. I think that's something that's underrated about the events, as well as it also feels good to get back on and help other people that are, going through some stuff that you just overcame 6 months ago, a year, 2 years ago, and be able to help somebody, avoid those pitfalls. That's fulfilling too. But yeah, I think the big thing is helping you realize just how far you've come and be able to help you realize how much you've accomplished.
Right. And so just like a couple of things that we're going to be doing at this event. And if you're interested in signing up for this and being in a room where the average clinic is doing about $30,000 to $40,000 a month, the average is probably going to dip, because for the very first time, we are allowing up to 30 people who have not worked with us before. Only 30 seats. About 10 of them are already gone since we opened the doors just a few days ago. So we have about 30 people who are not clients are going to be in the room. And I'm guessing that they're probably going to be on the lower end. So it's probably going to drop the average down a little bit. But the people who are in this room have built teams. Many of them have bought their time back. Many of them have practices that run completely without them at this point. Many of the people in the room, we have an entirely separate room for those of you who are doing $500,000 a month and beyond, where we're talking about much higher level stuff, or the earlier stage practices, they're not quite ready for it. But what you can expect inside of this room is breaking down where your business is truly at, mastering our numbers, like how to interpret and analyze, assess, diagnose, and treat our business the same way that we treat our patients. And so what do our numbers mean? How do we identify what the root issue is? How do we determine what it is we actually need to fix in that? And then we map out a 90-day and 12-month game plan for what it is that you need to do to make 2026 your best year yet. And so that's from a workshop standpoint, and some of the things that we do. We're also talking about very tactical stuff. Ben, you want to, what are some of the tactical things that you really loved from the last events?
Talking about hiring, knowing different metrics and hey, when am I ready to hire? So you never really feel 100% confident hiring for your first time, but at least you'll have hard data that will tell you that you are ready. And that's a more internal thing that you need to work on. So it's just nice to, especially if you're analytical and just data and numbers, to tell you, hey, you have the green light. There's just different things within that hiring talk that will give you that green light and actual things. And then also okay, you're ready to hire. What do you do? How do you go about doing that as well? Yeah. So the hiring talk is one of my favorite ones, because I think that's where it's most eye-opening to people, and it's the one that changes people's lives the most too.
They're buying back your time
when they make that, whether it's the first hire or the 10th. It makes a big difference. So that's one that I'm most excited about, because I know it changes most people's lives. With that, just the conference. But yeah, curious what yours is.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm most excited for the AI talk, because AI has changed more in the last couple months than it has in the last 2 years, where it's transitioning from where most people are, where they're using AI to ask it questions, maybe write some ads and some emails, whatever. But it's basically everyone's stuck in like Gen 2 AI, where AI tells you what to do, but then you actually have to do it. Whereas now I'm going to be teaching the Gen 3 model, where it is agentic AI, where it not only tells you what to do, but now it's actually responsible for executing it. So an AI for tracking all of your KPIs and analyzing it for you to tell you what your constraint is, for analyzing every single one of your discovery calls to tell you how to improve it, for following up with people. The number of things that we can do in AI with AI that automates your marketing, that automates the analytics and diagnostics of your business are incredible. And the way that we can interface it like it's an actual employee, it's going to change the entire world. So that's what I'm most excited about to talk about at this event, because it's going to not only save practice owners a tremendous amount of time, and not only things that they need to do, but also in things they no longer need to learn, and save them massive amounts of costs on not needing to hire help, plus the extra hundreds of thousands of dollars they'll generate as a result of it. So it's going to change the world. So that I'm pumped for that one.
Yeah. I think that'll be a good one too. Yeah. So, but really, my favorite part of the event is always the like the
cocktail party,
the cocktail parties, dinners afterwards. Like, I don't know. I think like probably the conversations that you have from those give you the most energy than anything, and things that that stick with you and makes you also excited for the next one too.
Right.
Yeah. So
to kind of to give you everyone like what's the purpose of the event? Why do we do these things? It's like not only because we know proximity and being around world-class people helps us become the best versions of ourselves, but what you would be signing up for is to learn the systems that allow your life to get easier the more your practice grows. Because Ben and I, our goal in life is very, very similar. We want to have time, financial, and mental freedom. We want to have our wealth growing every single month. We want to have a business that runs itself so that we can go on multiple guilt-free vacations every year, spend time with our family as much as we want without our income slowing down. And then we want to have peace of mind every single day. And so everything that we teach at these events is about creating those 3 levels of freedom for everybody. So we're teaching the systems, we're teaching how to hire, how to lead, how to instill culture where your team builds a business for you so you can focus on other things. We talk about finances, how to make sure that we have massively profitable businesses and that we're being able to be compensated for all of the risk and the hard work and the stress that we've taken on to build this shit. And then how are we taking care of ourselves? Because I've met a lot of people with 50K plus a month practices who do not love their life. We're miserable. And so how do we make sure that we're not just building the business that looks sweet on paper, but how are we building a life worth living that others admire? That's the example of what other people should strive to accomplish in their life, to be as a spouse, a parent, a business owner, a physical therapist. That's what this event is all about. So if you're interested in signing up, like find the link beneath this thing, go register. The event, I think we're doing like something insane. It's like $97. Yeah, $97 fucking dollars. Go and sign up for this thing. That's why we only open it up to 30 non-clients, because everyone else pays us tens of thousands of dollars to be in that room. And so these are disappearing really, really quick. So go to Clinical Marketer. Go to the link beneath this video that will drop. It's already in there. Go to that link, sign up for it, check it out. If it's for you, sign up. All you got to cover is for a hotel and a plane ticket. And then you'll work directly with us. We can scale up the business.
It's a no-brainer.
Right. Do you have, I'm trying to think of like other stories that we've had that make these so fun. We do the cocktail parties. We've done like group workouts in the morning that have been a tremendous amount of fun. A lot of people go golfing.
Go-karting that we did.
Oh, the go-karting. should I tell them the Miami story?
Yeah, you should.
Okay, so this doesn't happen all the time, but this happened one year because like Yeah, it's like we're pretty dang good at business, but we are just a couple of Midwest guys, and we like to have fun. And we had our mastermind event in Miami. I think this was 3 years ago now, and we took all of our clients out after the 2-day event to go karting, which is a ton of fun. We got like trophies, and we had like 30 plus people there. Ton of fun. But at the end of this thing, Ben and I are wiped, like so tired. We talked for 3 days straight, worked like on people's businesses, not just talking, but like we're going through the numbers, building their funnels, building their ads. And at the end of go-karting, I go up to our ops director and she's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, honestly, like, let's just go back to the Airbnb, which was balling, by the way. That's an important part of this story. This is a very
multi-million-dollar house, like really nice, because that year we hosted the event at this Airbnb, so we didn't have to. We took the venue costs that we normally would have to spend and put it into getting a really nice Airbnb. So like think like a mansion.
Yeah. Well, do you remember how much they said the wine cellar? They had like a 12 by 12, probably even taller than that wine cellar. Do you remember how much?
Yeah, it was a wall. It was a wall of wine.
We're talking like a couple $100,000 worth of like rare wine, and it's all locked. We couldn't go in there. It was pretty posh. It was a nice place. Yeah. And so anyway, at the end of go-karting, I go up to my ops director. She's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I am so tired. Let's just get the team. We'll go back. We'll have some drinks at the Airbnb, but I just need to like get away from people. As much as I love our clients, like 3 days of relentless effort and work gets tiring. And she goes like kind of like wide-eyed. She's like, oh, I invited everyone back to the Airbnb. And what's the big problem with this is that this was in Miami, and the Airbnb host called me, I'm not kidding, every day for 4 days leading up to this to ask me one question: are you gonna throw a party? And every single time I'm like, no, we're not going to throw a party. Everyone's a doctor. Most people have kids. Like we're not going to be throwing a party. If anything, maybe we'll go to like a bar, but we're not going to have people there. And sure enough, we ended up accidentally having a party. And then our clients are bringing bottles of tequila. Everyone's jumping in the hot tub and in the pool. And it like, we had like some of our clients, I'm not going to say names, but like in their upper 50s, 60s playing beer pong. And it was ridiculous. And then at one point, it's like 2 a.m. and it's still going. And then I hear the doorbell ring. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, please be the police with the noise complaint. Like, please be the cops. Because I was terrified it was the Airbnb host who I promised for 4 days this wasn't going to happen. And then I open the door, and who is it? It's the Airbnb host. He doesn't say a single thing. He just looks over my shoulder, and he's like, you moved all the furniture. I told you not to do that. Then looks me in the eye, and he's like, my designer would actually kill you. Can I come in? And I was just like, yes. And just had to like take my lashings. And I was infuriated. I was so mad. We had to like get everyone out, but I was so mad that I promised this wouldn't happen. And then it kind of got out of hand. And then once the tequila was flowing, haven't done a party like that yet. We're not going to do this at Clinical Marketer Live 2026, but we do have a lot of fun at these things. And that's why our culture and our community is a ton of fun. That's why our average mastermind client's been with us for more than 2.5 years, because of little side quests like that stem from these events. After we work really hard on our business for 3 days, we like to blow off some steam and sometimes be stupid. So if you like being stupid while also being really smart and working on your business, Clinical Marketer Live, come on by.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, balance too. You know, you can go to these events and it's ultra professional and, you know, and super stale. It's Clinical Marketer Live is the opposite.
We're laughing, we're crying, we are really laser focused on like our numbers and mapping out like, do we have the right plan in place, and then getting feedback from the coach, working in groups and teams to solve complex problems together so we can develop these skill sets. And people keep coming back to this thing because they've made such good friends at this event. Because Ben, Max, myself, all of our other coaches, every single year we step it up in a really big way because the world of marketing and business is evolving so fast, especially with AI. And every single year we're dropping entirely new stuff that blows people's minds, that keeps them in our community. And then we also have a ton of fun. So we'll keep your business moving forward. We'll keep you at the forefront. We'll help you install all of those things so you actually have work done and progress made and traction before you leave the event. But you're going to leave with potentially some lifelong friends that you've been looking for, that understand where you're at. They understand the struggles you're going through and understand the sacrifices that we're making in the short term so that we can live our lives a way that no one else is capable because they're not willing to do what we're doing. So if you're someone who wants to be around people who are striving for excellence and are willing to do hard things in the short term so we can live our lives in a way that everyone else wishes they could, if you're looking for a community like that, come to Clinical Marketer Live, June 11th through the 13th. We'll take a look at your business. We'll help you put together a plan. We'll teach you what's working the best right now inside of our clinics. And hopefully you'll be able to find your tribe of people that will make the journey a lot easier and a lot more fun for you.
Yeah, you gotta have people alongside you for the ride. Obviously, you probably have like spouse and family members and stuff like that, but it's just different having the support system with people that are actually going through it and know exactly what it feels like.
That's right. That's right. I think we're giving out like 6 or 8 7-figure impact. Oh, wait. Awards between our 500K impact award and our 7-figure impact award. I think we're giving out about 8 new awards this year. I think Adam Babcock, I think he crossed the line. AJ finally crossed the line. And we got a lot more to hand out. So anyway, a lot to look forward to. If you have questions on the event, feel free to email us, but go to the link beneath this video. Check it out. If it's for you, great. If not, that's great too. But thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you get a lot of value out of this podcast. If you do and ever have questions about things going on in your business that you'd like me and Ben support with, don't hesitate to comment below. We'd love to create a podcast episode or even have you on the podcast where we can audit your business, tell you what we would do if we were in your shoes. And if that sounds interesting, just leave a comment and we'll reach back out and find a time.
Yeah, and give us a 5-star review too on the podcast so it reaches more people and we can help more people too. So
good call. Later, everybody.